Hello and welcome to F1 Now. In this video we're going to be talking about the first race of the season in Bahrain. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, normally after every race we would be discussing the race's biggest winners and losers. Now I think it would be very easy to work out that Verstappen and possibly Red Bull as a whole were the biggest winners. And the biggest losers, well, I think we can also agree that would be Alpine with their overweight and aerodynamically inefficient cars. But to be honest, I don't think this race is really about losers and winners. When looking at the top 5 teams, for me it was primarily about car management and learning. I mean, the first signs were there during quali, whereby our expectations of Red Bull's full-on domination slightly changed. Okay, Verstappen did get pole, but Charles Leclerc put on a quicker lap in Q2, so the margins were pretty tight all the way. So as expected, Ferrari was seriously close to Red Bull, with Mercedes and McLaren not far off, surprisingly in quali. Now with that, we did learn that Red Bull's RB20 hasn't really made a visible improvement in one lap pace. So what about race pace? Well, in the race, Verstappen was from the jump on it and pulled a considerable lead all the way to the checkered flag. Now, I understand why some people can look at this and feel, okay, here we go again. It's going to be another season of Verstappen and Red Bull dominating. But what if we're looking at this all wrong, or just plain simply judging too soon? Well, I say this to say that although the RB20 in the hands of Verstappen was quick compared to the rest, we have to acknowledge the fact that Ferrari and Mercedes were managing some issues the whole race. So with regards to Ferrari, yes, Sainz's car didn't really have problems, which allowed him to show his pace, with the slight issue of being that he started too far behind Verstappen on lights out. Now I say this because Perez's pace showed that had Sainz not had to make that many overtakes and time spent behind his teammate, he wouldn't have been that far off from Verstappen had he started beside him. Now let's be clear, I have no doubt Verstappen still would have won. Now on the other hand, to my next point, both Mercedes drivers were suffering from lack of cooling, battery issues, and for Hamilton a loose seat. Now all of that resulted in the W15s losing 5 to 6 tenths of pure pace. So what does Mercedes' issue and Ferrari brake matters mean in the bigger picture? Well, for me this indicates that Red Bull is really not that far, to a point they are unreachable. In fact, it shows that in some tracks Red Bull will have to really fight to win because performance is going to be track specific. I know it may be hard to believe, but let me cook and just wait and see in the coming races, because what I saw in the race from the SF24 and the W15s are cars that are more likely to get race wins this year. Now this is like 2021 all over again. Mercedes win the first race and a couple more, and then boom, we are treated to the closest championship fights in recent years. Now, McLaren and Aston Martin seem to be way off the ball in race pace. Aston Martin is nowhere near the chasing pack, and the McLarens were really just there competing with the W15s that weren't even running at 100%. But if last year's developments are anything to go by, these guys will also be back and in the mix. So the Bahrain race shouldn't have the people discouraged about the rest of the season, because we might see more cars taking the checkered flag besides the RB20s. Now I'm curious to hear from you guys on whether your Bahrain race analysis brought you to the same conclusion, or do you feel Red Bull are going to win it all this year? So with that, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Once again, thank you and bye for now.